Welcome to another session of ZigZagNutrition in the kitchen, and today I am making a blended soup or stew or dessert. Which one is it? I'll tell you in a second. So I don't like food waste, and somebody recently gave me about a half a dozen acorn squash, and so I love squash. I love squash at any season, whether it's spring, summer, winter, fall. And one way that I like to do squash is I like to make a squash soup, I like to make a squash pie, I like to make squash ice cream. Yes, I said squash ice cream, and that is exactly what I have to show you here today. So, I have taken a can of navy beans, I have rinsed them and drained them, and then I have taken about half of that can, placed it into the handy dandy Ninja blender, as you can see, alongside about a full cup of acorn squash that has been previously roasted in the oven. And I'll release a video about roasting acorn squash in the oven later on. So I de-seeded the acorn squash after it was cooked, and the seeds are currently cooking in the oven right now to be dry roasted seeds that I can enjoy myself. But the inside, the flesh of the squash is inside the blender cup here with the navy beans, a couple ice cubes, and then you're going to ask me, well, how in the world is that going to be like ice cream, Jonathan? Well, I've also added about a half a cup of aquafaba, and if you're not familiar with aquafaba, it's just the liquid of beans, and so I drained the navy beans, and then I'm using the aquafaba, or the liquid, from a clean can of beans, one without all the preservatives and added byproducts and stuff like that. The aquafaba, the liquid layer of protein, whenever it whips up inside of here, it will make it more fluffy, and it will aerate the ice cream just as like you would have with a normal aerated ice cream. And so it will whip up really nicely in the Ninja blender here as I throw it about. And so I have that. Well, also you see all this dark coloring. The dark coloring is due to what I have in here. So with most of our foods, we don't enjoy them unless they're flavorful, right? So if you think about most ice creams or most desserts, they're flavored with a little bit of artificial flavoring and a lot of sugar or other mechanisms of processing. Well, for me, one way that I like to flavor foods is with spices. So in here I have what I like to call a pumpkin squash puree kind of blend, which is just like pumpkin pie spice, cinnamon, some nutmeg, allspice, ginger, clove. Oh man, I forgot the ginger. Well, usually I add the ginger. I love ginger, it's so good. Sorry, I'll get the ginger on another day. But the navy beans will blend up to make a good puree consistency as well. So the navy beans, the squash together, the aquafaba, the ice cubes, all of that is going to blend up really well once I get done shaking this about, right? So if I just shake it up, it's not going to work really well. I'm using a high-powered Ninja blender here today, and you can use a Vitamix, a NutriBullet, a Ninja blender. You just need a blender that's going to really puree these ingredients. If you use a food processor, that's fine too. Just try to make sure that you're actually going to get that puree setting going. So here I have my ice cream. Now this is a base that I will use. So I will also add in frozen banana or almond milk or a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. I may sometimes add a little bit of pumpkin to this as well. I might add in other ingredients to help it become a more developed consistency for an ice cream or a nice cream, if you want to call it that. You could also throw in about a quarter to a half of an avocado to puree within this as well. That's another great addition that you can use at home. Let's see here. I've also added a little bit of cashews in here because I'm adding some healthy fats. And I know one thing that a lot of people enjoy is peanut butter. Yeah, so peanut butter goes a long way to add in flavor to things as well. So I didn't add any peanut butter into this blend here, but if you add a teaspoon of peanut butter into one smoothie cup like this, it really goes a long way to give you some healthy fats and to get a very flavorful experience. You add in a teaspoon of all natural baker's cocoa and a teaspoon of peanut butter, and you're gonna get that chocolate peanut butter experience pretty much with whatever you want to blend. And so I'm gonna go ahead and blend this up and enjoy it later for ice cream. I'll see you next time, and I won't bother you with the sound of this blender because it's pretty loud. P.S. I forgot to mention, if you do want to sweeten a blended cup of ice cream that was with squash, or you want to sweeten anything, I usually go for natural sweeteners. Try to do as much non-processed as possible. I don't actually enjoy stevia, though I know a lot of people do, so if you're a stevia person, go for it. That's just not my game that I like to play. I'm much more apt to sweeten with natural sweeteners like honey or the sweetened taste of pure vanilla extract. I also enjoy the sweetener of molasses alongside anything that has ginger in it because I love ginger snaps. I love gingerbread, for instance. But if you want to sweeten this, what I did is I used coconut water. So coconut water has natural sweetened sugar in it from the actual coconut fruit. You can also use like an orange. You can also use like anything that has sweetness to it, like real pineapple, a real mango, or juices thereof. You can use any of that. So use the natural sweeteners that the planet gave to us and enjoy them for what they are. A lot of people will use beets, for instance. That's how red velvet cake used to be made, with chocolate and beets, and that was the red velvet, and it was a different kind of sweetness and has some added benefit, nutrients. Okay, so coconut water is what I used here. You can use whatever you want. You can even use authentic maple syrup. Yeah, authentic maple syrup. I know it's a dime a dozen. Just kidding. It's actually really expensive, unless you live in Vermont, but that might not be where you live. So if you want to enjoy coconut water, squash ice cream, then you can sweeten it with coconut water. So I'll let you go. All right, see you next time. All right, so I finished blending the wonderful ice cream of squash that I developed, and as you can see here, it's pureed. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open this up very carefully, as I tightened it very carefully before. I'm going to open this up very carefully, and it's going to spew everywhere. Just kidding, it's not. But what it will do is be stuck in there. But what I'm going to do is oh, sorry about that. I'm going to grab a handy dandy plastic container, freezable container. Usually I like to use glass if I can. I don't have a glass one that's empty right now. I have glass jars all around because I like sustainability and I went to Ball State. But you can use whatever freezable container you want. If you have a leftover ice cream container that you use and you rinsed out and you want to use that, that's fine. Don't waste anything that you don't need to. Reuse it. Why not, right? So I'm going to pour this into here. So you can see this here, right? Yep, that's a good stand. Perfect. Awesome. Didn't even plan that. But you guys can watch this and have fun with it now. So I opened it up. It didn't go everywhere, right? So I am going to release this now. And I'm going to clean that off. And I'm going to pour this in here without it going everywhere. And man, can you smell this? This is so smelly goody. So you see this puree? So what you can do is you can leave it this thick and make it like a gelato. Or you can add some water to it and freeze it into ice cubes and churn it later. Or you can just enjoy it like this. Or you can heat it up warm, enjoy it like a warm oatmeal. You can add it to all kinds of stuff. Man, this actually smells really good. Man, you want to try it? Sorry. I thought maybe you'd like to try it. But next time, you just let me know and I'll let you try it. So there you go. There's that beautiful ice cream that you can enjoy at home. Just throw it in this dish right here. Bada bing, bada boom. And then you can freeze it, enjoy it for later. It looks like chocolate pudding. Look at that. Even the kids would like it. Yep, I'm looking at you, kiddo. You would like this, I guarantee it. You want to try it? Have mom or dad or grandma or grandpa or your parent or guardian try it. Peace out. Healthy, happy, holistic nutrition on a budget. All right, yeah. So that is an acorn squash recipe. Mind my humor. I'll see you next time on Zigzag Nutrition. Bada bing, bada boom. To your health and happiness. I will see you next time.